Come on in here and listen to this for a minute. Seeing a lot of people, as you know, horrible things are coming to the surface and terrible things are being seen a lot more in the public eye. Seen a lot of people go, well, where's God? Why would God allow all these horrible things to happen? Well, I got to tell you something. Nobody wants to be a slave to God. Nobody wants to be told what to do, how to live, and a slave. They want their own will. Cool, you got it. You have your own will. God is not a slave driver. God is not a controller. He will not push himself upon you, and he will not force you to live in any certain way. You got it. You have your free will. You're not a slave to anything. That being said, people choose their own free will. People choose a life totally away from God. And you get one of two things in this life. Either you live according to, God's instruction, or you don't. And if you don't, you live to somebody else's instruction. That's it. It's one or the other. And because they, don't want to be slaves, they are not slaves. They live for themselves, or they think it's for themselves. But when you live for yourself, it's not really for you. Just little FYI. That's, one of the greatest deceptions. Anyway, so people live for themselves and they kick God out of their lives. In fact, in a lot of places, he's a bad word and a faux pas conversation. Real downer, don't bring God into this. That's such a downer. Stop. Like, we're having fun, right? Okay, so you kick God out. Cool. That's on you. And when you kick God out, guess who gets to come in? The one who loves everything that's horrible. So you kick God out because, you're not a slave. God doesn't force himself on anybody. And you think it's for you and you think you have control, but you don't. The enemy will come right in and little bit by little bit, because he plays the long game. He plays the fun game. He plays the what you like game. He knows what you like. Little bit by little bit. And down the line, you look around and everything is horrible and you see terrible things going on. And then people are like, where is God and how can he allow these things to happen? Here's the deal. You can't gaslight God. In a culture of today where gaslighting is like the vast mentality, the majority of communication, the way people think, the way they exist, we live in a gaslighting culture. It's absurd. But here's the deal. You can't gaslight God. You kick him out, the enemy comes in, and eventually you're gonna see him. And he's never satisfied. He doesn't stop until you're looking at things that you could never imagine are despicably horrific. So why is God allowing all of this bad stuff and horrible stuff to happen? He ain't. You are. Stop gaslighting God. Stop blaming God. If you want to know how, then people are like, well, how are we supposed to know what we're supposed to do? There's a whole book that's black and white instructions on how to live for God and how to live a life that benefits others and allows goodness to thrive. It's called Proverbs. Don't come at me with the Jesus name ain't real and the Bible's been Don't come at me with all that. The Lord has full control and he's more powerful than all of that. Don't gaslight God. It ain't gonna work. God cannot be gaslit. Stop gaslighting God. Make your choice and sit with it. It's that easy.